I never really liked math in school. Until I walked into Mr. Krekel's class, that is. He was different. He'd lost his right arm in the war, and he was right-handed. So how did he think he could write math equations on the board with his left hand and still keep the attention of 30 squirming teenagers? We did more than just memorize formulas and plug in numbers. Sure, we learned the basics. Math became interesting when he challenged us. He gave us questions that required thinking, reasoning, and creativity. I needed to figure out how and why things worked. These weren't necessarily real-world questions. They were thought-provoking questions. Even now, 40 years after high school, I can say I use the life lessons I learned in that math class almost every day. Why do many math students just memorize everything and forget it after the test? I think many math classes do something like this. They give you the manual for a shiny new smartphone. You memorize the buttons, but you never get to actually use the phone. How boring would that be? And you'd never remember it. I look to games for clues about what this might mean in the classroom. Because if students can play games for hours and learn lots of skills in the process, why not math? One thing is clear, it's not real-world situations that make games engaging. Think about the computer game Angry Birds. Do millions of people play it because they think someday they'll need to know how to shoot birds at pigs with a slingshot? Of course not. Yes, the characters are cute. I think other things also make this game engaging. Let's apply these principles to math questions. Maybe math could be like any other tool given to game players. For instance, in Angry Birds, if you needed different shots to be exactly the same, it might be difficult just using trial and error. Math tools would come in handy. I'm not saying math always needs to be part of a game. My theory is, after learning textbook skills, students could use those skills with challenging questions that require higher levels of thinking and reasoning. Here's one example. You're writing an article for your student newspaper. You want to explain attendance at 2 recent meetings in easy-to-understand language. Which meeting was better attended? Why? I believe this question is similar to a game question in some ways. Now it's time for you to find questions that are engaging, useful, interesting, and challenging for you.